Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 123 of Page Valley Living. We're here today on a hot summer day inside of a new duplex on 22 Hilltop Lane here in Luray, and it's the newest project of the Page County Habitat for Humanity. Now, 2026 is the 50th anniversary of Habitat for Humanity International, and we're going to be talking about our local chapter here, which has had its ups and downs through the years, but in recent years has made a bit of a resurgence and is working on some new homes like this project right here at 22 Hilltop Lane. We'll talk about this specific project as well as the organization as a whole and where it is today after a few words from our sponsor. Hawksbill Assisted Living in Luray is now accepting new admissions. Hawksbill Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, offers quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, and veterans aid and attendance. Come visit Hawksbill Assisted Living, located near the beautiful Hawksbill Greenway in Luray. Call for a tour today or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to episode 123 of Page Valley Living. We're sitting here out on the porch here on this sunny summer afternoon at 22 Hilltop Lane. It's the new site of the Habitat for Humanity here in Page County, of their duplex that they're building, and may be done maybe in the fall at some point, and getting some families in here. Let's introduce who we've got with us today. We've got Jeremy here with us, who is the president, Jeremy McCoy of the Habitat for Humanity in Page County.
Nice
glad to have you here. We've also got Howard Leach, the vice president. I'll just kind of give you a little bump there instead of reaching across the screen here. And Karen Gochenour, the treasurer. And you two are also kind of head of the committee that makes the family selection. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Very good, very good. Well, I want to first of all, thank all of you for being here on kind of a hot afternoon and at this duplex to talk about your organization. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Glad we're on the front porch instead of inside.
Well, let's start off now. We're going to, every story starts at the beginning. So let's start off here in our first segment. Let's talk about the organization. When we come back in our second segment, we'll talk a little bit about this particular project and where Habitat in Page County goes from here. But let's start off talking about where this organization began. 2026 is the 50th anniversary of Habitat for Humanity International. Do we know whenabouts Habitat started here in Page County?
In the 70s.
In the 70s. Wow, we were early then because they started in 76.
Yes.
So we were not long getting on board. And do we know how many houses we have built in almost half a century?
This is going to be house number 25 and 26.
Oh, okay. Very good. That's not a bad pace for a small community.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. And I imagine in the beginning it was just a handful of people.
It was. Tommy Lou Hunter is one of the initial founders of the Habitat, this chapter. This duplex, or this area, is the Hunter subdivision, or duplex is what they refer to it as. And she was very instrumental in getting us off the ground. And it was a very rough start. They didn't have a lot to manage with, but they managed to start building a couple houses. So.
And now you said we're up to 25?
25 and 26.
25 and 26. And I imagine that's more than 25 or 26 people that's impacted. That's probably multiplied several times over. Now, as any nonprofit will go through, there have probably been good years and there have been some bad years. And as I understand it, COVID was a pretty rough time for you guys.
It was. I joined in about 2015. I was asked to join the board and went on just as a general member. And we had a duplex over here that had been taken possession back, and I just kind of came on to help repaint it and rehab it and get it ready to resell. And then during the COVID years, a lot of our board members dropped off. We weren't very active. We weren't really doing a whole lot. And it dwindled down to where after our past president, Joe Bush, resigned, it just left Karen and I. And we were trying to kind of be at a crossroads of where do we go from here. And so we talked to Habitat International. They had us talk to a couple local chapters that were like Winchester, Front Royal, Harrisonburg area. And we talked to them, and we just felt like we had some money in the bank. We still had this piece of property. We had another duplex in Stanley. And it's like we wanted to resurrect it ourselves. And we met Howard, and Howard came on board with us. And so the three of us just kind of made a decision to keep this thing afloat and keep it going. And so we, 2 years ago, we took the unit up in Stanley. It was a duplex up there. We completely gutted it and rehabbed that unit. And then once we got that one ready, we found two families and sold both of those units. And then it was time to do something with this piece of property that we had here in Luray.
You had some ball players help you with Stanley site there, didn't you?
We did. I coach at both Luray and Page, and so I've got a whole bunch of kids, and reached out to some other coaches, volleyball coaches, soccer coaches. They brought some girls out, some guys out. We had them slinging paint. We had them, they really love the demolition side of things.
Yeah, right. I bet.
Give them some hammers and some pry bars, and we had a big dumpster outside that I think we filled up twice, maybe 3 times. And you get some young kids in giving us a hand. It's been really nice to be able to use child labor at its finest, but it's when they can get out there and kind of see what doing some community service type work is all about.
Yeah.
They always want to do community service work, but that's helping build a duplex or a habitat house. Yeah. That's true community service type work.
I would agree with you.
And,
I would agree with you.
Yeah, so we got a lot of kids that were able to come out and help, and they did love the demolition. More paint went on them than on the walls sometimes, but they were a big help.
Well, that is fantastic. And as every nonprofit out there, they want people, the folks out there watching now, if they're thinking about it, maybe if we can coax them at the end of the show to donate, whether it be volunteer time like the students did, the athletes, or be it money, or be it another piece of property that needs refurbishing, or whatever it may be. They want to feel like every dollar is being used properly and that it's being done well. So as part of the application committee, you want people to feel like we're not just handing out houses here. They have to meet certain obligations. What are some of the things that these applicants have to do? Because sometimes you get applications and they don't qualify for various reasons. What are some of the things they have to meet in order to be a part of this project?
Well, one thing different about Habitat is that we don't require that you have good credit and that everything's paid on time and that you've had your job for 20 years and all that kind of stuff like many mortgages do. I had the opportunity to retire from banking and mortgage finance, and so it's nice for me to have the opportunity to now help people get into a home, no matter what their situation is, as long as they can afford a payment.
Right.
That's the key.
And I believe they have to be under 60% of the median's income?
Yes, every year the federal government, the USDA, publishes the median income for all the counties, and what we do is we take 60% of that and we make sure they're below that number. And
Very
we
well.
use that, so we're getting the people that really need it, that can't afford a house otherwise.
And they actually, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of sign sort of for lack of a better word, we'll call it a contract, maybe it is a contract, that they have to put in some sweat equity, and I believe they have to make payments of, is it $500 a month?
Well, the payment is depending on the price of the house.
Okay.
Because basically what we do is we work with USDA, so if they qualify, we'll use that for a low interest loan. But if not, which most don't, we will finance it at 0%. So they actually have to make payments to us, so we can then put that back into a new house. So
Very
as
well.
they're making payments, we're reinvesting that money in the next house.
And they cannot resell the property for 15 years, right?
Well, if they do, they can. But if they do resell it, they share the equity with us.
Okay.
Since the house is volunteer labor and volunteer materials and a lot less expensive, then they will share the equity with us.
So to me, that sounds a far stretch from being a handout.
Yeah.
It is. It's a hand up. It's a huge hand up, but it's certainly not a handout. I mean, we're here to help families get into homes affordably, but unfortunately, with the prices of material, prices of everything out here today, they have to be able to afford a decent payment.
Sure.
But it's usually in the $500, $600, $700 range.
Sure.
I mean, they own the house. They pay taxes on it. It's their utilities. It's their home in the end.
Right. And each of you can comment on this, but it may seem obvious to some, maybe not to others, but what are some of the key things that this organization needs to carry out its mission?
we go.
People.
People, yes.
I mean,
Yeah. We,
6 of us now that are trying to keep things going.
Wow.
Right.
We really need, I mean, we're all volunteer. We have no paid staff.
Right.
And so we need people to come on board and help us to fill committees and make sure families are taken care of. And then, of course, construction, running volunteers,
yeah.
people that know what they're doing. I had a story the other day, one of the builders that I had to run into that was part of the beginning. And he was telling me about how they got together on a Friday night. And by Sunday night, the people were moving in.
Oh
They
my
had
gosh.
completely built the house over the weekend.
Talk about a barn raising.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're like, let's do that again.
Yeah.
So we want the builders to come back and to partner with us, and then of course people to help us with all sections of it.
That is even more impressive than the New Jersey firefighters that came and put the playground in 2 days at Stanley. You built a whole house. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we get people, when it's time to build, we usually get a lot of people come out and volunteer and want to help do that. But like Howard said, it's been the 3 of us. We have 3 other people on the board with us, Tom Bauserman, Christine Sinnett, and Whitney Wheeler. So those 3 also are on the board with us. And so it's really been 5 or 6 of us trying to make all the decisions.
Right.
And, you know, both of these folks have just recently retired, but Tom works for the county and Whitney works over in Harrisonburg as well. And I, you know, I've got my hands in a million things. So having the time to be able to make those decisions, having committees that can help organize some things, that would help us as much as the labor, the material, the money. You know, the people would help out.
Wow. I guess that's the case with a lot of organizations out there. So if there's somebody watching, and if we pique their interest over the course of this 20 or 30 minutes, how would they get in touch with you? How do they donate? How do they volunteer? How can they do that?
They can reach out to us at our office, and it's 540-743-7879.
Let's say that number again and speak up just a little bit.
Okay, it's 540-743-7879. They can leave a voicemail for us. We'll be happy to call them back. They can reach out to us on our email, and that's at pagecountyhfh@gmail.com.
SHS. I mean, excuse me, SH.
HFS.
Habitat
Oh, there we go. I'm
Page
confusing
County HFH.
There you go.
at
There you go.
gmail.com. And then, of course, we also have a website. And we're on Facebook.
Okay, very good, very good. And somebody could just look up Page County Habitat for Humanity on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Easy enough. So make sure that you look into that in the next few days and see how you can help this good organization. When we come back from our break in just a moment, we're going to talk about this property here, this duplex at 22 Hilltop Lane in Luray, and when it might be finished, what's gone into it, and the families that are going to be calling it home. We'll come back in just a moment after another word from our sponsor.
Whispering Pines Assisted Living is now accepting new admissions. Quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, memory support, and short-term respite stays are all offered by Whispering Pines Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, where home and heart meet. Call for a tour today on Leaksville Road in Luray or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back once again. And today we're talking about Habitat for Humanity. Jeremy McCoy here with us, Howard Leach and Karen Gochenour from the board of the Page County Habitat for Humanity. And we're going to talk a little bit about this project that we're at right here. But first, we want to clear up one little thing about our early days in Page County. Now, we had talked about, and as I did want to mention again, it is the 50th anniversary of Habitat for Humanity International. They started back in 1976 with an idea that came off of a farm in Georgia. I think that maybe that's one reason Jimmy Carter was so involved, maybe, because of where it began. But in Page County, it wasn't the 70s we got started.
It was not. My mistake. Sorry. I got confused with international. It was 1993 is when we started.
1993. So that is still a pretty good stretch, 33?
33 years, 25, 26 houses.
Now that's a really good pace.
That's even better
than what we were talking about before. But we're here right here at 22 Hilltop Lane. When did this project start?
We broke ground back in the fall. During the winter months, we were able to get the foundation started, do some waterproofing and do some runoff type things here. So we got started on it then, but then back in February and March is when we were able to start getting it framed up. So right now we have it under roof. Was it 3-4 weeks ago? We had a volunteer group of about 10 or 15 people that helped us, and we got all the windows and doors set and ready to go. So next up is putting the roof on.
There you go. That's an important one.
Especially with as much rain as we've been getting the last 2 weeks.
I'll tell you.
And then they started putting some HVAC systems in today as well.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I know you all got $10,000 worth of windows donated by Anderson Corp. Right here in Luray. Thanks goes out to Anderson Corp. And some interior doors, I guess, maybe exterior doors from Prim Door in Stanley, the plant there in Stanley. Also, big thanks goes out to Prim Door. Who else do we need to throw some thanks out to?
Well, Mark Good helped us get the foundation going and get the platform in, and then came back later when he had some time and had his guys help us with some framing and roofing.
Does he have his own company?
Yeah, Margo Construction.
We want to make sure we get that in there for him.
Yep. Yeah, and then we had a couple other guys. I've got Daryl Short that owns Ridgeview Cabinetry. He came out and helped us with the window setting. He's talking about being able to help us out with some cabinetry and kitchen type things inside. Michaelix Construction is a group out of Harrisonburg I work with. They came and did most of the framing for us, and they've donated all their time for putting up all the framing here.
What's our target date for completion? Approximate. I know it's going to. We'll be flexible with you. We won't hold you
how
to
many
it.
volunteers
We'll do an over/under. Should we do over/under here?
fall to winter,
Mid-October.
November.
I know we were shooting before at October when we did the last
October,
article.
November, December, somewhere in that.
Okay.
It goes quick, but then it goes slow.
Now, let's talk about the process here. How many applicants did you have apply? And I know we now have people in here. How many did you have apply for this?
We probably had about 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Which is,
Say again?
We have probably had about 15 to 20
15
apply.
to 20, okay.
Not all of them qualified, obviously.
Right.
That's the harder part of
But
this.
I know it wasn't that long ago, just a couple of months ago, I was talking with someone in the organization. They were saying that you had not found a second family and you were looking, but now you do. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah, we've been very blessed to have a lady with a young child and an older child that is by herself and in a rough situation. So we're able to help her and get her into a house. So we're excited about that. And the other person is a retired gentleman that hasn't owned a home, and it's his opportunity now to get into a house of his own. So
Who's been in the longest? You've been in the longest?
I've been in the longest.
How many key ceremonies have you attended?
All of these up here, there's a couple on the Boonfield, and then, so probably roughly 10.
For someone who has never attended a key ceremony, and this is the moment in which the family who has applied for the home will get the keys turned over to the house. Tell me what that moment is like.
Well, we have a pastor comes in and blesses the house first, and then it's a celebration, and people are so grateful. You'd be amazed of the gratitude, even though they put in the sweat equity and they had to qualify and do all the things, all the requirements that were met and everything. But it was just for them to walk through that door and take the key and open it for the first time, and it's theirs and it belongs to them. Is monumental. I mean, we had a lady in Shenandoah that when she did that, she cried. I mean, it was that, and she was just kept saying, "Oh, thank you, you know." And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed.
I've only attended one that I can remember, and I cried a little bit too. I'm telling you, man, it is a heart-wrenching moment there just to see people and the wonderful things that this organization has done. Habitat for Humanity International is in all 50 states and 70 different countries. They've helped over 65 million people around the world find homes. These folks right here are keeping it alive in Page County. You need to do whatever you can to help them, whether it be stroke a check or come out and swing a hammer. Come out and help the Page County Habitat for Humanity. Any closing remarks or appeal to the folks out there about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what else you may need?
Anything?
I think that just talking about the key ceremony, that is, it reminds you of why you do it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's like anything, you get tired or you get frustrated and you just sometimes wonder. But then when it all comes together, and it always does, then you can really be thankful and you really are, you know you did something that was worthwhile.
All your hard work paid off.
Yeah.
It really is, in a way that is satisfying, it's rewarding in itself. We don't get paid, and it's okay. But seeing those folks get that emotional to know that this is theirs, it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much summed it up. As far as what we need, what we're looking for, I mean, like I said, the labor and the help is great. Money obviously goes a long way as far as buying the cost of materials and things like that. And there are some trades that we have to pay for. I mean, you know, the HVAC and other things, I mean, those take a special skill for some of those people to do. So we need some of those folks to, you know, that has to be paid for. But this is our last piece of property that we own. And this is the last one that we can put up until we find another piece of property. So, you know, for us, anything that's up in the town of Shenandoah or Stanley, because this is our last unit here in Luray, we'd like to find a piece of property. If someone has something that's, you know, been a tax burden for them for quite a while, a blighted property that maybe the town or county owns that they're not using or have any use for, even an old abandoned house, even if it has to have some demolition and tear down. I mean, if there's a well there, that would be that would be amazing, you know. But that's what we really need for our next step after this unit's done, is for us to be able to continue to help families. We need another piece of property or 2 or 3 that we can continue this.
And you had said earlier that because the last one was in Stanley, you're doing this one in Luray, that you kind of cross your fingers you might get something in
We'd
Shenandoah.
like to, yeah. I mean, we've got units in all 3 towns and all 3 communities over the years. And, you know, since I've been part of it, we've rehabbed a unit here. We rehabbed a duplex up in Stanley. Now we're building this unit here. I mean, we'd like to head back to the Shenandoah area if possible. You know, wells are very expensive. Septics are very expensive, even a traditional septic. So if it can be in the town limits that we can hook up to water and sewer, that's great. But if we could find a piece of property, we were just talking before you got here, Randy, if we could find a piece of property that was big enough, even if it was in the county limits, that we could put 2 or 3 units on. You know, a 3.5 or 5.5 acre piece that we could split into 3 units, share a well, that would cut down on the cost of that a lot. So, but yeah, the next piece of property is basically what beholds the future of our organization.
Well, let's hope that you continue for many more years to come. I want to personally thank each and every one of you and share my thanks with the other 3 board members
Absolutely.
that are out there trying to keep this thing alive, because we know what happened to our United Way chapter some years ago. They got absorbed into the larger umbrella organization. It almost happened here in Page, but I think it is so much more effective to your local community when you keep the local chapter going. And thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
And thank all of you out there for watching. Now it's time to stroke that check, grab your toolbox, come on out and help these folks do the good work that they are doing. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. We want to thank Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind the camera and in the editing room this week. And as we say at the end of each and every episode, make sure you head on out to the Page County Animal Shelter and help one of our furry friends find a forever home. Until next week, for Jeremy, Howard, and Karen, I'm Randy Arrington here at 22 Hilltop Lane saying, until next week, enjoy that Page Valley living.